Hey there, everyone. Happy Friday. Another exciting end to a big week of trading in the stock market. And I'll tell you what, the wins keep on popping off over at the Discord. I'm actually going to give you an inside view of that Discord so you guys can see what sort of stuff goes on over there with the community. Thousands of members that are already part of it. And just so you guys, just in case you are considering that same thing, you would know exactly what to look forward to. And I'll also talk about some of the validity of the technicals that I give as well, besides what you see here. So I'm pretty excited to jump into it. So let's just jump right into it. So let's kick things off here. On this Bitcoin chart right here, I talked about this ray coming up through here. This morning I put out, and you'll see it over at the Discord, sitting on top of this is bullish. I drew an arrow indicating it. I just upped the opacity on this one so you would actually see this line a lot clearer. If we go just one day over, one candle over from that, that takes us up to 100,000, about $66. So we'll just call it 100,000 even to make it up to that ray. We do have resistance at 98,451, and we almost made it there. If we go back and we look to see where the candles, where we had rejections before, that does peak out. You can see right across the tops that we have over here, the minor peaks in between is where we happen to peak out on that. And the tops of these end up being right at about $100,000. So I think that we're on the path to get there. I stay bullish on Bitcoin in the near term. Certainly on the longer term, I still think that Bitcoin has quite a story to tell, and we want to watch that play out. By the way, I made two different plays on Bitcoin. One was yesterday through IBIT, which is an ETF for Bitcoin, 27% profit on that trade from yesterday till today. So just overnight, you'll see it over the Discord when I share that with you. 39% profit on an intraday trade using the 0 DTE on IBIT, IBIT for short. And then QQQ using TQQQ, made a day trade on that one. Again, you'll see all of these posted transactions, the buys and the sells, when I show you my channel over at the Discord. So just be on the lookout for that. Plus, I have a few other things to share with you in terms of interacting with the community and the benefits that are also offered there. Going over to the Qs, I said for this one, let's go out to the day chart on this real quick. For the Qs, I said, day traders, be ready. We came within, well, right now it's 491.03, but it was 491.04 when I posted this morning, and we came within 13 cents of that 200 day. And if we actually go down to the 1 minute chart on this and reset the view, there we go. And we look at that peak that we got right there. It is going short at that peak. Look at that sell-off that we got. Using the 0 DTEs, you can get multiples on your trade on this, like well over a 100% increase if you were to track that all the way down. For me, the profit would come in probably when we started getting a few of these green candles. If I was able to trade at that moment, wasn't quite ready for it, but there are some other things that I have to share with you. Like I said, over the Discord, talking about when we started to see this breakout happen, what it would take in order for this climb to happen in the first place. And I also talked about it with the SPY, and this minute chart looks absolutely crazy, but just take a moment. And now, mind you, you could say, hey, these were drawn with hindsight, but I promise you they weren't. And I have the timestamps to prove it. Once again, shared with the community members over at the Discord. When somebody's asking what number do we have to break for the SPY, I shared that as well. And I produced these technicals in order to produce that. And man, you can trade off these things all day long with that one. Really solid technicals. Going out to the day chart, what does it look like for SPY? Reset that view on here. We did not quite make the 200 day, so didn't climb quite as fast as what we had for QQQ, but big tech is having quite a time, so we're seeing that outperformance. Might take a little bit longer for SPY to get there. We could see it next week, especially if the balance of trade numbers for imports and exports comes out well for us. Please don't forget about that Fed meeting that we have coming up on Wednesday, and honestly, we don't want to see that cut happening. It's not expected that we get one. And really, if they do make that cut, in order for it to be a bullish sort of surprise, it would really depend on what Jerome Powell had to say afterwards. He will move markets. I swear by it that we're going to see that by Wednesday, some massive volatility coming our way. IWM, I had this line on here marking the $200 mark. We actually closed above that in the post market, $200.59. We closed at $200.48. So I said within 48 cents. I said we need to close above this. I said 200's that line. We closed 48 cents above it. So pretty darn good day. Mind you, I also talked about quantum stocks, and just to show those for a moment, watch this. Watch this on the quantum stock. I said, I'm watching these. I'm interested in these. And look at Rigetti today. Look at that skyrocket. Can you guys see that right there? Maybe I should have been zoomed out a little bit more. That's just today. Closing out 16% up today. So if you watched my morning video and were able to catch that, I was not able to catch that. There could be further upside in these though, leading into next week. So hopefully you'll watch my video. Maybe it allowed you to get a position. If so, let me know down in the comments. IonQ up 12, almost 13%. QSI, mentioned again this morning, 8.62%. QBTS, 13.32%. All mentioned in this morning's video. I said I'm watching the quantum stocks. I think something big's going to happen with them soon. Here's that big thing. Happened to move to the upside. All right, guys. So what I said earlier was that I was going to show you some of the inside views of the Discord for what you could expect should you join us over there and want to take part in the celebration that we have, learning how to reach financial freedom, learning how to add alpha to our portfolios, and, well, I got the receipts to go right along with it. So let me bring this down for you, and what we're going to do is bring up instead Google Chrome, and I have the Discord over there waiting for you. So here's what it looks like from an inside view on this thing. So put this up here. There we go. Boom. So May 2nd, 2025. So right there's the date. You can zoom in if you need it. I said, let's go, boys and girls. This is at 8:33 a.m. So 3 minutes after we get non-farm payrolls and 3 minutes after we get the unemployment rate. So we had and I have it all right here. Non-farm payrolls, beats consensus, unemployment rate changed. And so all this stuff, when I said, let's go, I said the markets could continue to pump based on this information and the two screenshots. And that's exactly what they did today. All before the market was open, being able to trade with that bullish bias in place. So I gave a breakdown of every single number that came out at that 8:30 as per the trading economics, along with the fact that the US and China are talking trade deals, or at least there's evidence of it. That's what's in this other screenshot. Once again, 8:33 a.m. Moving into 8:49, I gave some updates on IWM, QQQ, and SPY. So once again, before my YouTube video dropped and made public, you could see all of these screenshots here. If you go into each one of them and taking a look at those values that I have circled on here, there's that 200 that you could see for IWM, the 200-day for QQQ, and the 200-day for SPY. Moving on from there, BTC update. There's what you saw from the Bitcoin chart, and then also bring in the CME Fed Watch tool, looking at the change over time on this one. And again, I'm just showing you for an inside view for what's over at the Discord, and I showed about 1 week ago, 1 day ago versus now, and the fact that we're looking at less of a chance for that rate cut, which the silver lining, and what I said about this, moving into this, I said this is helping some of the downward pressure come off risk assets. So the stock market, I don't think this upward pressure, this is upward pressure on risk assets yet. So this is a release of downward pressure that's allowing the market to come up like the Qs to the 200-day. It is not yet the upward pressure. And then again, that goes to the 4 pillars. And then I have a transaction here where I posted a buy on TQQQ, and I said that it was intraday only. And then I recapped what the 4 pillars are and the reason why I don't think we have upward pressure yet, because GDP is questionable, low inflation, it's starting to look pretty good. Easy monetary policy, we don't have it yet. Strong labor market's questionable, although we got some evidence towards it today. There's the 31% profit. Let me see, it took till 10:15. That transaction was posted at 9:39. So not too much longer. As a matter of fact, that I was out of that. The order was filled at 10:12. It took me about 3 minutes to get it back out to the community on that one. So moving along from yesterday's IBIT call, again, the receipt would be on from yesterday. For that one, 27%. And then another IBIT call was put in for another intraday here, and then stopped out. There's the 39% profit and so on. Well, what else do we have over there? Well, looking at the community thing here, I posted out to the community, 487.59 is the number for QQQ. 3 rejections so far. It said could be coming soon, meaning that we could be seeing to the upside soon. And then somebody said, what do you think about the SPY? So then what I did was I said, looks like 564.89. So if we take a look at those on the chart, let me bring those back up there for you. So trading view, pop it back up. There we go. So 564.89. Let me put the technicals back up for SPY. And what you'll see if I go down to the 1 minute chart, and we're going to stretch this thing out so we can see what 564.89 looks like. There we go. We'll move that along and have to go back through time. And I know it's a little bit messy, but bear with me here. So I posted that at 10:13 a.m. So going back to 10:13 is all the way back to this green candle that we have right here, which happens to be, I don't know if you can see that magic number that happens to be right there. That is 564.89. Just as that green candle was forming, we took it, we held it, we took it even further, held it again. I said that was the number, and man, that stayed the number as we held on to 564.89. That's where that rip came in. So I got asked where that should be. I said where it was, and that happened to be where it was. I did the same thing for the Qs, except for the Qs. Let me see here. I'll bring that back up for in just a moment here because it was just above this that I had that one. And for the Qs, I know I told you the number 487.59. So that happened to be where we kept on getting rejected on there, as a matter of fact. So 487.59, and it looks like I took the line down, but I'll put it back up here for you. 487.59. And that timestamp on that one, that was posted at 10:05 a.m. So let me see if I can grab a vertical line for you. Boom, 10:05 happened to be going back in time. There it is. That's 10:05 a.m. So look what we were doing right around that time. There's 10:05 a.m. Right there's where we got it, right where this blue line is, this vertical line on your screen. That happens to be where we had that. And let me see if we can make it a little bit wider for you so it shows up a little better. We'll go out to 4 pixels. There we go. There's the blue line. Look what happened as we overtook that dotted line. Climb, 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 climb. So I said that number, that 487.59 was the number to stay on top of. As soon as we stayed on top of it, we really never came back down, not even through the rest of the day. So it worked out for the SPY, it worked out for the Qs, and I'm just putting this out there so you guys know what sort of things you could expect over at the Discord. Well, there's even more than that though. If I go over, somebody says about Tesla with a juicy 4-hour bull flag. I said, nice, I'll have a look. I wonder where the 200-day is. And what that led to, if I scroll down a little bit more, here we go, Dr. Stock, good call with the 4-hour chart. That's a perfect view. Here's my take on the Tesla chart. You'll notice it says major historic resistance, 200-day resistance. And well, let's look at the Tesla chart and see what happened according to those numbers that I put out there. So putting this back up here, and we're going to switch over to the Tesla chart. There it is. And take a look. The top of this candle, where did it go? By the way, to this major historic resistance that I had pointed out. And once again, I said major resistance. We hit it, we rejected. This is the 4-hour chart that we're looking at, by the way. So that line, I have it 294.86, and we hit 294.78. I was within 8 cents on that one. Let's break it down to, let's go down to the 30-minute chart just to see what that looked like right around that time. And you can see we came up, hit it, and sold right back off, right back down under it. So I think I have one more for you because something else was after the 4-hour chart where I said good call with the 4-hour chart. And you can't see it, but you're going to see it in a moment here. Here's the last one that I have for you for this video. Dr. Stock, good call with the 4-hour chart. Kyle G says, look at Uber, one of the strongest names. And then I put up this chart for them on Uber. Well, what does that look like? Now, mind you, this was at 11:19 a.m. When I posted this technical for Uber. So I have that for you on the charts as well. And I said about the area of resistance, I marked it in red. Well, take a look. Now this is up here for you. We made it into the red on Uber, so I'll reset the view so you can really see it. So there's matching up the image with the chart. And once again, that was posted 11 something in the morning. And then what did we do throughout the day? We'll go down to the 15-minute chart for this one and look at what we got in the day. We made it just into that area of resistance and ended up selling out of it just as we got into the last 15 minutes towards the close. So guys, I know I keep on talking about the Discord and I keep on saying about it, and it's not just some sort of sales pitch. I really do think that there truly is value there waiting for you. And now, mind you, that's just what I have over there. There are other expert panelists over there as well that do the same sort of stuff that I do, that are in the market throughout the day, sharing what insights they have, sharing their technicals, sharing their buys and sells. There's an expert of the week that we have over there as well. Plus, there's the bread bot there to help serve you even better. There's AI tools, advanced charting tools. The earner tier is how you access absolutely all of that. With the earner tier, there's even a place where you can ask the expert your specific questions, and then one of us jumps in there, maybe even more of us jump in to answer the questions that you have for us to the best of our ability. And I got to tell you, we are quite able, and we'd love to see you over there. If you're interested in joining a community where everybody is there, is just positive and supportive and all working towards either adding alpha to their portfolio. I like to use options to do that, or if it's just working towards financial freedom. If that's what you're after, we're all there working towards the same goal. It makes for a really beautiful community. And I wanted to just share an inside view with you into that, just so that you guys could see what it looks like a little bit more than just sort of talking about it. Now you can actually see it and know that there's high quality information coming out all the time over there. And if you want to join us, we're there waiting for you. And if not, I'm just happy to have you here watching the YouTube videos. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to do technical analysis like I do, so you can make the charts like I do, trade like I do using the bread recipe, use options like I do, There is coursework for that through Stockmo Academy. You can click on the link down in the description, use code word doctor when you sign up. And when you do that, you can save a ton of cash with that code word doctor. And if you bundle the courses, you can save even more. And everything that I talk about is already there in these nice little tightly put together, just perfect classes. And I can say that not only with my financial passion that I have, that I bring to you guys here on YouTube, but also through my 17 years of career experience as an educator with my doctorate in education with a concentration in educational technology, my master's degree in instructional technology, which is all about building things such as that coursework that really takes the essential information that you need and puts it into easily digestible pieces. And why not invest in yourself in that process? Guys, it's the weekend. I'm going to let you go. I love you for watching. Thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and I'll see you next video.